There we go.
Starting.
Oh my gosh.
Breathe, you're okay. You did good. You got it.
We're live.
Hello.
Hi.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, already. Where's your mug?
But it wasn't that bad of technical.
Oh, it's there.
Okay. We made it.
Not bad.
I'm drinking out of a tankard tonight because it's glass, but it's kind of in the shape as the one that the Hound drinks out of when he gets very thirsty listening to talkers, which we'll get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we are the Knights of the Drunk Watch, and this is our Game of Thrones rewatch. We are on season 4, episodes 1 through 5. Introductions?
I'm Andrew.
I'm Mark.
I'm Kate.
I'm Crystal.
This is Rockefeller right here.
Yes,
We are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And now our talk begins.
Spoiler alert.
And now our talk continues because we've been
Oh, that's true.
talking about it.
Yeah, if
Our
you
talk
haven't
tonight
watched
begins.
episodes 1 through 5,
Or any of it, because we'll
or
talk about
any
all of it.
please go away. Go watch them. We don't want to be those people for
Yes.
you.
And then come back and then watch
And then come back. and
Yeah.
watch
Because we're not just talking about the series as it happens. We're also talking about how things reflect on what we already know has happened
Mhm, absolutely.
in 7 seasons.
Yes.
7 seasons of Game of Thrones. So
And we don't want to spoil it for you. So go watch it. And then come back and watch us.
Okay, great. So, episode 1, 2 swords.
Yes, so Ned Stark's sword is gone. I kind of question this. Valyrian steel is supposed to be this like magical steel that no one really knows how to work it, and then it seems to be very simple. They just put it over a hot heat source, melt it down, pour it into a mold, and bam, they got swords.
Well, they explain, I mean, they do go into it of, like, Tywin says he found someone who can work
there's
with
like-
Valyrian.
I know,
Yeah.
but the process that they showed us seems
It looks like working
exceedingly
with
simple.
regular steel.
Yeah, with regular stuff.
Anyway, but no, I won't go into that yet. Anyway, so he melts down Ned Stark's sword and creates 2 new swords that we will see where they go.
I was a little sad watching that.
It is
So
sad.
you're supposed to. I mean,
It's a little
burns the
sad.
wolf scabbard and
Man, it's just-
Yeah, so Jaime gets the first sword, or Tywin tries to give him the first sword, and
no, he gives it to him.
Yeah, he
You're
gives
like,
it
"You
to
can
him."
have it.
well, yeah,
Might as well.
and then he's concerned that he can't fight anymore, so he ends up going to practice with
Bronn, which I like their interactions.
I do too.
I think that's fun.
Bronn gets along well with the Lannister brothers.
Yeah.
Well, and I felt like this was an interesting development in Jaime's character because when his father said, "You're gonna quit, we'll release you, we'll get you released, you're gonna go back Castle Rocks," if Jaime had this deal before he met Brienne, he probably would have been like, "Okay, I'm done with it."
Yeah.
He probably would have jumped at the chance, but now he's like different.
He's concerned that
He's
people
more
are
honorable.
going to question my honor again because I'm breaking another vow. So he's officially on his road to redemption and trying to become a better person.
We meet Oberyn and
Yes.
Ilaria.
Yes.
Oberyn is probably my favorite short-lived character.
I like him so much.
He is great. And also, I would like to clarify, because this was confusing for a lot of people, that he is a prince, even though he's in Westeros. It's because during Aegon's conquest, when he conquered all 7 kingdoms, he never actually conquered Dorne. So Dorne still has princes and princesses and
I
whatnot.
kind of liken them, even though they seem to have a Latin flair because they're Southern and they have a Latin. How do you say that? Latinx? How do you say that word?
Yeah, it's Latinx.
Aren't they
Latinx.
more like a Spanish? Well, I guess.
But yeah, the whole
No,
idea.
like
I
Spain,
don't know
Spain,
if
not-
that character is Spanish or if he's
I don't
Latin.
think he is.
But anyway, I mean the actor is. I mean the actor is one of the 2.
Oh, yeah.
But I liken them to like the Russians. There are all these Russian princes. Everyone's a prince in Russia.
Yeah, and he's talking about, Oberyn's already talking about getting revenge on his sister, who was killed 17 years ago when all of the Targaryens were killed off. My question is, like, why is he just now here for revenge? Why did he wait so long?
Opportunity?
Yeah, I
was
think
gonna
it's
say
just...
opportunity.
I mean, because of the rebellion, they couldn't just continue the war. You know, they had to, go with the peace or whatever.
And I also don't think that he is stupid, so he's not just gonna like ride into town seeking revenge. He like is very open about like
a room full of Lannisters to kill the mountain.
Yeah.
And then we go to.
So we also learn at this moment that we know Rhaegar left Elia. So the question is, does anyone really know? I mean, it seems like the big secret is that Rhaegar and Lyanna had a baby. Of course, everyone definitely knows doesn't know they got married.
And she gave birth in Dorne.
Oh, was it in Dorne?
Yeah, the Tower of Joy is
in Dorne.
Down by Dorne. It's on the very north side of Dorne, near the Reach, but it is.
But
I think
they talk about
Dorne.
so it wasn't even like it wasn't a complete secret. He definitely left her. You know, before the rebellion happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we go to Daenerys.
Yeah.
Across the sea. Her dragons are bigger. They are no longer really like cute and cuddly. They are, as the writers described them, they're now acting like teenagers.
Yeah.
And they're
accurate.
They have that one moment where Drogon like snaps at her, and it's like the first time she is kind of like, "Oh crap, I was a little scared there," and she's kind of questioning if she's ever going to actually be able to tame them, because actually the art of taming dragons was lost in the Doom of Valyria. No one. But,
I really like when we get these like little pointless fun scenes, like with Dario and Grey Worm, and they're like, "Oh, we're seeing who is gonna hold our sword the longest, and whoever does gets to ride next to the queen." She's like, "Fucking
like, let's go, people."
No, stop.
Whoever holds it longest is gonna walk. Like, go away.
It was their way of introducing the new actor playing Dario Naharis.
Who's so lovely.
Which my fan.
I like
Yeah,
drink.
everyone fucking drink.
I like him better.
Okay, I like the first one better though.
What? I mean, what?
But I think it's because I'm partial to guys with long hair, and his hair was gorgeous.
But new Dario has like the volume.
For me, it's not just about the looks, even though I do love the beard and the looks very much. But
he's less sleazy.
He has a bit more of a chemistry
so,
with Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Like he has this kind of flirtiness with her, but she's trying not to flirt back, but you kind of see that
she's flirting.
She's trying to act queenly, but still you can tell she's interested.
The way, and I'm gonna skip forward because like
wait, Andrew has something to say.
Well, no, go ahead and do that, and I'm sure it's the same topic, right?
Yeah, just still Dany and Dario. When he brings her flowers, and the way that he makes her accept them is like, "I brought you a flower." She's like, "You're so stupid." He's like, "No, this is made for tea to help people. You need to know the land." Yeah. "I brought you another flower." "I brought you a third flower." Like,
but that one's deadly. Don't make tea out of that one.
And then she's like, "Fuck it, I'll take the bouquet." Like, God.
You picked wildflowers for me.
But in the dueling Darios, because I made this observation during our rewatch, because we all just wanted hate on the original Dario.
I don't hate on him,
but there was a lot of hate for the original Dario back in the day. Maybe not from you, but from people. Just because I pointed out that I felt like he was cast because he kind of fit the way the character was described in the book. And I kind of feel like because of the absolute lack of any energy between the two of them, they didn't audition him with Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I believe the reason that actor was not in the new season, it was a scheduling conflict. He got,
sucks.
He got a job on another show, and he chose to take that instead of continuing.
Wow.
So it was an actor scheduling thing. It wasn't that they said, "Oh, we don't like him, let's recast him."
Well, I don't know. We don't. What's show to get on? Because he's in Deadpool. I know that. Well, I think they should have recast him, and they made the right choice there. So letting him go. Go to your other movie. That's fine. Because the new one has instant sex appeal with Emilia Clarke. And they got rid of all the flowery stuff from the book that just wasn't working in person, I think.
Yes. All right, so moving on, then we have Sansa is sad. Tyrion tries to be comforting, and Shay is whining.
Shay's the fucking worst. Shay's always the worst. I'm a drink.
I'm a drink.
I didn't realize how much I didn't like her until I started watching season 4. Season 3, I was like...
In this rewatch, I have hated her more than I've ever hated her.
in season 3, and then
Yeah,
just
it's just she's so
She just
vain
gets
and
worse.
so selfish.
Well,
Oh,
because
so
early
selfish.
on, like, she has that moment with him after the Battle of Blackwater when his face is all torn up.
Yeah.
She's still like, no, I do love you. I still want to be with you. And then you have that moment you think, oh, okay, maybe she really does love him.
Yeah.
But then, as you see it progress, like, she just gets whinier and
Oh,
whinier.
wow.
Because I think she's honest in that, but it's her selfishness and vanity and possessiveness.
Yeah.
She can't understand that these things have to happen. Because if she had laid low the entire time instead of being such a whiny bitch, she'd probably still be there.
Yeah.
You know, Cersei probably would never have picked up on her.
Well, no, it was during that moment, one of Cersei's ladies, her spy, heard Shay, and yes, her little birds, and she ran straight to the queen. And she's like, I found the real whore.
Yeah.
And
It was just.
Because she couldn't overcome her own selfishness.
Yeah.
Which you didn't really see, especially in the very beginning when she's first introduced as a character, which is why
because she was
I was always rooting for
she
them.
was just his whore.
Yeah.
You know, but as the rest developed,
Especially after the Battle of Blackwater, it was just like, oh my god, she really does love him. She wants to be with him. She didn't leave.
But
like
then
he wanted her to.
you also wonder if it's because she knows she's never going to find as wealthy
a better position.
What's the word? Employer? She's never going to find like.
Well, yeah.
At that point,
and I think she also probably felt like anytime he made an offer to take care of her away, she couldn't trust that was for her protection and not tossing her.
She
off
took
the
it so
whore.
personally, but he's all like, "Here, I will. You can go away. You can live in a fancy house, have lots of servants, and live like a wealthy woman."
Yeah.
But like, obviously, like, I'm married. I'm not going to have kids with you. I mean, what did she think was going to happen?
Ugh.
Also, in this scene, we started off
hating.
with Sansa being in mourning, and I feel like, the screw does begin to turn very slowly for Sansa in the first half of the season. But I just feel like
I agree.
What do you mean?
Should have been turning in earnest after this happened.
Wait,
absolutely.
What do you mean?
Specify?
Sansa, after Sansa, she still isn't kind of like turning like towards like
Knowing
understanding,
shit.
Playing the game.
knowing shit. Yeah,
I don't think that really starts to happen until she gets with Littlefinger.
Yeah.
I know. I feel, but that's always been my frustration with Sansa. Is it doesn't happen
It takes so
until
long.
then.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
your father's been
So
killed.
long.
Your brother's been killed.
I am
No.
loyal to my beloved Joffrey.
You're never gonna see your sister, your other brothers again. Like,
You
come
know,
on,
and
woman,
she's
get it
still
together.
kind of clinging to the fantasy a little bit. I mean, obviously she doesn't believe Joffrey's, wonderful, but
Anyway, I'm sorry. Were you done? Is that
yes.
okay? We go to Cersei, Jaime, and Qyburn.
Yeah, Jaime gets his hand.
He gets his hand,
yeah.
and this was the thing I never really noticed before. But Cersei is talking to Qyburn about symptoms
This
she
is
is
the first
having.
time she mentioned symptoms. We heard it late in the game. We thought she was pregnant.
Yeah.
But she's been having symptoms.
Like, what are these
Of
symptoms?
something.
They don't ever go into that.
Well,
I didn't even make a note of
I
it.
didn't even notice it either.
Yeah.
Well-
what did I miss?
Because after
missed
Qyburn
it.
comes in, she's like, "Oh, thank you for this, and it helped a lot." And He's like, "What's going on?" It's like none of your business, lady stuff or something. She diverts. Jaime overhears it.
Yeah.
She diverts him.
Yeah, and then
Interesting.
Jaime tries to make some moves on her, and she's like, "No, you took too long. How dare you become a prisoner?" And he's like, he has a really great line where he's like, "I murdered people to get back to you." He loves her so much, but he's so angry that he loves her. It's like he knows she's a terrible person, but he can't help it.
Heart wants what it wants.
Next we have Ygritte and the Thins.
Oh,
the
we
Thins.
fucking hate Thins. Drink every time they say,
Ugh.
"I fucking hate Thins."
Yeah, they're so gross.
Oh, they're awful.
Oh, the freaking cannibals. So they're just waiting to march into the wall.
Sins.
And then we see Jon is in black again, back at the wall, and
Yes,
Yeah.
Jon is mourning Robb. Everyone's mourning this episode.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh god, and then he has to answer it. Alistair Thorne. I'm drinking
Fucking
for him being
Alistair.
a bitch.
I hate him so much.
But
I take a note later that I find him to be one of the most fascinating characters, though, because despite his spitefulness, he's still in his own way honorable.
He is trying to
Yeah.
everything he does. Like his final words, like he was doing it for the Watch. He is loyal to the Night's Watch, and he is trying to do what he thinks is best for them. But he's just always had it in for John because John showed up trying to, it's like
and was
John.
good.
Yeah, John went there thinking he was going to have honor and glory, do something glorious and whatnot. But Alistair's just always had it in for him.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Oh, and then Janice Slint is there,
That's
already
Janos.
acting like a deuce.
And
Janos.
he's the opposite of Alistair. He's a douche and has no honor.
Yeah, gosh, I was at King's Landing. I was commander of the city guard. Blah blah blah.
Okay, sit down.
Mhm.
That's how I felt.
Like
that
he's
whole
been there
time.
for 5 minutes. That's the first time I've seen him there. He's already acting like he owns the place.
Elena and Brienne. Brienne tells Marjorie about Renly's death.
Yeah, which that's not really.
We got a lot of like
important.
short things. Jamie talks to Joffrey about wedding security. Joffrey's a dick.
Joffrey's always a dick.
Yeah.
Joffrey just goes at Jamie.
Oh,
Yeah.
such
He's just being a dick to
bullshit.
everyone. It's but there is an important moment there with Jamie staring at the book with all the King's guards
Yeah.
and their great deeds, and he
Yeah.
really is questioning. He's like, "Have I actually
What
done
have I
anything good
done?"
in my life?" So I think all of his decisions from now on are kind of like he is trying to do some like
Build
great
a
deeds.
legacy.
Yep. Something that Tywin has always been concerned about is
Something-
legacy, and now Jamie is concerned about his own,
His
not
own.
his family's legacy, but his own.
Yeah.
And they mentioned Sir Arthur Day in the Sword of the Morning. Doesn't he come into play?
Yes,
There
my,
was something
Mayor?
about, like, isn't he guarding?
yeah, he is the one that Ned fought at the Tower of
Okay.
Joy.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the first time they ever mentioned him, but he doesn't really come into play until much later.
Right, but but there's just a reference. I knew it was.
Yup. And then Jamie and Brienne are now like, oh, what's our purpose now that Catelyn is dead? Sansa is safe,
yeah.
everything's fine. And then Dantos gives
gives
Sansa
her the
the
necklace.
Dantos.
Which I never understood the purpose of this necklace. I mean, yes, I get it. It has the poison on there, which will
Yeah,
be
we all
important in the
did,
next
yeah.
episode. But why did it have to be on her necklace? Why did she have to wear it? What if she did not wear the necklace to the wedding?
Yeah.
Why would Olenna not just, like, have it in her pocket or something?
I don't know.
I never understood the purpose. Now, if they were going to leave the necklace behind where someone might find it after the wedding and be like, oh, Sansa did it. If, like, they were trying to frame her for it.
Yeah.
Do they ever find Dantos' body? Because it's with
Not-
Dantos'
not that we
body in
know
that
of.
boat.
We don't ever see it again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never quite understood the purpose of that.
We just skipped quickly because we talked about it a little bit. This is also the episode where Dany sees all the children
Oh yeah.
on the mile markers.
Wait, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And she wants
it's
them taken down,
because
removed.
now at the point, yeah, everyone knows that Dany is going around Slaver's Bay
Slaver's Bay,
and
yeah.
freeing all the slaves. So now the people of Marine, they're like, we are ready for her, and we're going to intimidate you as much as they can. But their actions have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes her more determined to free the slaves. That is pretty tragic, though.
Yeah, that.
They crucify 163 children.
Children.
Are they all children?
They're all
yeah,
children.
All right.
Then we have the last scene.
Oh my
Arya
god,
and
this
the
is
Hound.
my favorite scene.
I
This
do
is
love
one of my
this scene
favorite
too.
scenes in the whole series. Arya and the Hound go to the inn, and she sees
And
Oliver.
just like again, like these little scenes of like, I want a horse. You don't get a horse because you're gonna fucking run away. Like I'm not
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. Well, see, but also it's their relationship. I don't know if it changes, but Arya's more in like now that she knows running away to her mother and brother is not an option.
Also, yeah.
She's kind of starting to realize that, well, as much as she hates the Hound
He's
and wants
good
to kill
protection.
him, right? Like she wouldn't survive on her own out there. So she is kind of like, well, we're stuck together, so let's at least be traveling companions. And
Well, I just love this part of the scene because the Hound clearly is like, nah, we're not going to go in there. And then Arya just like goes.
Boom.
And then he's like, but there's just after that, there's no hesitation. He's like, once he's in,
Yeah, he's ready.
And then one of my
Well, but he's admitted before he loves killing.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not going to go out of his way to do it, but if there's an opportunity, he's like, yeah, I'm real good at it, and I'll do it, so what the fuck ever. Like,
one of my
fine.
favorite lines of his was like, she killed Lami. He's like, what the fuck's a Lami? And yeah, and then that whole scene where, like, you're just sitting there like, okay, what is about to happen? And then...
Big fight. Someone got stabbed in the dick.
He did.
Like, oh my god. That
And-
was so
And
ridiculous.
then Arya finally has, like, she crosses the first person, like, off of her
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she does it so, like, her knife must be so sharp. Because it just whoop right into his neck.
Well, this is a very tender
I know,
part
but
of
still,
flesh.
she's a little girl.
I mean, but it's just a
Little
little.
powder,
It's like a little poke, and then he just bleeds out. And
Ugh.
one of my
she said.
favorite
No.
shots of Maisie Williams is like the next shot. Like they come out, the Hound is eating his chicken.
And she's so happy on her
Or
horse.
she just has this shit-eating grin on her face. She has her sword bag. She crossed someone off her list. She has her horse.
That's good. All right, we
That's
gotta move on.
perfect.
All right, we gotta go way faster than we did last week. Okay.
Oh,
Episode
we got
2.
so many things to discuss.
So we see Ramsay and Miranda being ridiculous.
And all I really wrote down in this scene is how is Ramsay allowed to exist?
Right?
And this takes us, I guess, all the way into with his thing with his father.
Yeah.
It's like he is such. I mean, everything
Evil.
He does.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Why was he not like just like taken care of by now?
Well, see, and also I realize what they're doing by showing that as the first scene of this episode where, spoiler, Joffrey's about to die. It's like they're kind of letting us know, yeah, Joffrey's going to die, but this is going to be our next, like, evil. villain.
Villain, yeah.
And then Reek is just so broken.
Oh my god.
You know, part of it makes me feel bad for Theon.
I mean,
But part of it also makes me go,
he deserved it.
you deserve it, you dick.
And then Roose Bolton arrives at the Dreadfort. We meet Walda Frey, poor, sweet, naive girl. Like, she's
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, hello, Ramsay. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, so that was my
God,
question.
Poor baby.
I guess I wrote this down after some other stuff happened, but so is Bolton only newly married? Because he said
Yes.
Because I mean, when he was
It's his new
describing it to
wife.
Catelyn, I didn't realize that he just showed up and picked his bride.
Yeah,
You know,
no, that part of the deal for the Red Wedding was that he got to marry one of Frey's.
I mean, no, he said you could. I'll pay you her weight in gold, and so he picked the fat one. I just didn't realize that was yesterday.
No, like it just happened.
Yeah, just happened.
Which, of course, Ramsay sees right away, like, you know,
This is a problem.
This is a problem
I'm gonna
because-
have to fix this.
because if she has a baby, then
I'm fucked.
that baby is the true-born son of Roose Bolton,
Mhm.
and that baby becomes the Lord of the Dreadfort.
Ugh, what a dick.
And then Locke is sent to Castle Black to find Bran's son, because Ramsay tells him Bran's son, that Bran is still alive, etc., etc.
I don't like Locke either.
I totally missed that.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
This
I
time or the
totally
last
fucking
time?
missed that this time.
Yeah, no, because when Reek is shaving him,
Yeah.
he
He tells him that the Stark boys aren't really
and
dead.
Bruce is getting all pissed
'Cause
about what
I
he
was-
did, and then he's like, "Oh, tell him what really happened." And he's like, "Oh, so yeah."
Yeah, 20 minutes ago, I was upset that Locke betrayed us.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking forgot. Like, I missed it completely.
The entire
because
reason
I
he
thought
went
that
to
he was a
Castle
good
Black.
guy.
No, Locke
Damn
took
it.
Jamie's hand.
Yeah.
But we did skip off Jamie training. 'Cause
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wrote down that he was so hot. He's so hot when he's training.
Drake.
And
Fucking Drake.
And I just also make a note, because I don't think they really do it here in the show, but how Tyrion and Jamie leaving it in the book was so heartbreaking for me. Because the last thing Tyrion says in the book is, "I killed your son," and blah, blah, blah.
We're
And then he
not
leaves.
there.
What?
We're not there yet.
But that's when I wrote it down. So that
See, I was trying to skip ahead and move on so we could go quicker, and then he says, "Wait, I'm
going
going
to
to
talk
bring
about
this up."
something from two
This is why
seasons
we're going to
ago.
let Andrew speak first now. Andrew, would you like to go on to the next point? He's mad at me now.
Fight me.
Uh,
Oh, so Varys and Tyrion are trying to get Shay to leave. I wrote this note down of Tyrion does to Shay what Arya did to Nymeria.
Yeah, you have to
He's
go.
like, "You're a whore! Go! I throw rocks at you!" Except instead of rocks, he's like throwing diamonds and like, "Go!" And she's like, but, and then Bronn's like, "Oh yeah, she totally left." I'm like, we did not see her leave. She did not leave. That was so obvious. Joffrey gets all his wedding gifts. And including, so he gets the new sword. He gets the other Valyrian sword.
Does he get the small one?
Yeah. Yes. He gets the shorter one because that boy doesn't know how to...
Widow's Wail.
That's right.
Fucking asshole. And he cuts up Tyrion's book with it. He's just such a fucking dick.
This episode is all about... Even the director of the episode said, "I hope it doesn't seem like we're just setting him up as a big old dick just so
You were, though.
Yeah.
Because he is.
Well, and I mean, isn't the past 3 seasons of y'all setting up that Joffrey was a huge dick?
Yeah, but like they were like in these first 2 episodes, in the 2 episodes leading up to his death, it's like how much more of a dick can he be?
Yeah.
And then we go back to Dragonstone, where Stannis and his wife are burning their own relatives as sacrifices.
And wifey is fucking indoctrinated.
She's so
That's a fancy word. What does that mean?
She is so convinced that this is true. She is.
I saw their souls lift into the sky.
I would say it's like being brainwashed.
Yeah, she's in the cult. Well, and I wrote down that I wonder, because Melisandre finally gets to the point where she says she has to go back to Westeros to die, and I kind of feel like maybe she finally realizes everything she did for what she thought was right, and then she, finally realizes, no, I was a total moron. That maybe that's why she feels like she has to die in the end, because she didn't do it right, or she killed a whole shitload of people to get it not done.
Melisandre speaking with Shireen, and she says the only hell is the one they live in now.
And she said the book with all the 7 gods are lies.
Yeah. Well, and then later, she believes in this so much, but when she was speaking to Beric Dondarrion, and later when she speaks to Jon about what did you see when you died, and they're like, nothing. They just saw darkness. Like, she was so disappointed. She was expecting, no, tell me about heaven. You totally saw the Lord of Light, right? And they're like, no, we saw darkness. Oh, and then Bran
he's
sees
warging.
his visions.
Yeah.
Now, as the writers state...
Sees his visions?
He sees his visions.
I love it.
Well, the writer stated that every single image was specifically chosen, and it's there for a reason, and directly related to Bran's story. Now, it could be the past or it could be the future. We don't know. The most important one was that shot of the dragon shadow flying over King's Landing. If it was the past or the future, but
I wrote he
sees
sees
shot of
visions
the
too.
and he saw the same image of the Iron Throne that Dany saw. What?
I wrote that he sees visions too. That's just a funny phrase.
Well, they are.
He sees sights.
No, but he saw the same image of the Iron Throne that Dany saw, covered in
with the snow or ash.
But also, if we are concerned if that shot of the dragon shadow was the past or the future, it was a very bright and sunny day. So, it wasn't...
Did you see if the Sept was there? Was shit blown up? We should look at it again.
Oh, that's a good
I
question.
did look at that. I did not see any Sept damage. But that assuming they were over that part of town.
Yeah.
I didn't see the Sept.
That'd be too fucking obvious.
It would.
Just a crater.
Joffrey and Marjorie are wed. By the way, she looks amazing.
Oh my god, her hair.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, and then this is one of those when you go back and rewatch it, you see all the foreshadowing was there. When this High Septon has the line, "Cursed be he that would seek to tear these two asunder," it literally shows Lady Olenna looking over their shoulders. It's just a shot of her just sitting there and be like, "What? No, I'm not."
Who said what?
Oh, this is the first episode that we see with the new final Tommen.
Yes, this is the first time.
This is the first time we see the new
Tommen, old cousin.
Yeah.
Wedding celebrations.
Joffrey is just such a fucking shit.
He is.
Oh my god, the whole War of the
Yep.
Five Kings, where
It was like seriously,
He
he's
is
in there laughing
asking
his
to be
ass
murdered.
off at the most distasteful thing he could have done.
like
Ever.
everyone
Yeah.
else in the audience is pissed.
Pissed.
Like Sansa, Tyrion, Loras,
Olenna.
Marjorie, like everyone there is so offended by it, but it's like
Except
no one
Cersei.
can.
I think she's
Yeah,
enjoying it.
Cersei is the only
She
other
enjoys
one that's like
everything.
laughing
What
at
the
it.
fuck ever.
She's smiling like a Cheshire Cat
She
the
was
whole
the-
wedding.
Because Joffrey
Only
is under the
time.
impression that like, oh, I won the War of Five Kings. I saved the city. I am the most greatest president ever. Oh shit! I got
Yeah,
political.
drink.
Oh wait, before we get into this whole thing, also there's a moment between Brienne and Cersei where she's like, "But you love him, don't you? Even if you're not serving him." And Brienne is just like,
What?
"I'm
Right.
gonna go."
Yeah,
No.
sorry, Adi, for those of us shipping Brienne and Tormund, this is not bode well
Jamie.
for Tormund.
Listen,
What?
that
What?
threesome. No, he was
Oh,
right.
you are talking about
I'd go for that threesome too.
Yeah,
though,
me too.
So
with who?
Tormund and Brienne and Jamie.
Okay, fine, but just take Brienne out
No,
of there.
but
So I understood that. Sorry,
It
what?
wouldn't be a threesome anymore.
that's no longer a threesome.
Also, I just, I wrote down, Cersei just is doing everything all for spite. She's just a spiteful.
Yes.
little bitch.
Right?
Yeah.
By the
Take
way, like
the food and give it to
they
the
are.
dogs.
It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't specify in the show, but like in the books, they are eating 77 courses
Yeah.
of food. So much so, like I think
Oh
it's told
my
from
God.
They
Sansa's
mention
point
it
of view.
later.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
mentioned it briefly.
Yeah,
when
but like
when
it's
the
talking
new
about
wedding.
like when they eat it, like they take like 2 bites of the food because they have to save room for 77 courses. So like all this food is literally going to waste, and she's like, "Let's give it to the peasants," and then she's like, "No, give it to the dogs."
But
just out of
I
spite.
do say this for once. This is the first time Sansa finally takes a stand. It's a small one,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
she goes and she picks up Tyrion's cup.
Ah, yes.
You mean
Gives
Joffrey's
to
cup?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Joffrey's cup to
Yeah.
give to Tyrion.
That is like the one like moment of actual like kindness that she shows Tyrion.
Yeah. It gets so any other moments, we get a moment between Jamie and Loras. We get a moment between Prince Oberyn, Tywin, and Cersei that is just like very intense.
We get a moment between Loras and Oberyn.
Yes, a little
And he's
winky
like-
bits. But the whole Joffrey and Tyrion thing is like Tyrion does such a fucking good job of de-escalating
Right?
at every point.
Oh my
Shame it
God.
spilled. And Joffrey's such a fucking little cunt bag, like he can't handle it, and he just gets mad again. And he's like, "No, that's not what I meant. It didn't spill. I poured it on you. Like it wasn't meant to be an honor. I'm being shitty. Can't you tell? Like he's such
Speaking
an
of which, maybe we
dick.
should refill our goblets.
Ugh.
And I also made a note because I went and watched it twice. Jack, what's the actor who plays
Jack Gleason.
Jack Gleason. And I don't know if he did this or if the director did this or if they did it together, but he does a nice little fake for anyone who
Yes.
knows what's coming.
Yes.
Because he does this moment where it looks like he's about to choke, but he's just getting a new idea.
Yeah.
Right before he chokes.
Yeah, he either takes a bite or a sip and then like
He
takes
takes a
an
bite.
inhale
He's like,
and like looks around and then he's like, Uncle. Like, wait, hang on.
This pie is dry, and like the way they, like you never see Olenna actually put the poison into it.
Yeah.
No,
She
I-
does-
I looked. You see her take the thing.
Yeah,
It's
because she
obvious
does go
that it's
over
gone.
and like,
Yeah.
If you
yeah.
really watch, you see that it's
Yeah,
gone.
she takes
but I
it.
went back and looked.
We see her take it off of Sansa's necklace.
Yes, yeah.
We don't see her put it in the cup, and I think what happened when he was cutting open the pigeon pie,
yeah.
I think she waited till everyone was focused on that, and that is when.
Well,
But at
She
that
got
point,
it.
his cup
Marjorie
was.
takes his cup, I guess, while he goes to do that, and she puts
She
it
sets
all
it
the way on.
near her grandmother.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on the far end of the table, across from where her grandmother is sitting.
Which
the next
Marjorie
table.
is not involved
No,
in.
she's
Marjorie
not.
No,
knows
she has
nothing
no
of this
idea.
scheme, but yeah, like that's what she did. She took the cup and she set it over there.
So, and everyone stands, I think, when the birds
When-
fly out.
Yeah.
So she would have
That was a
reason to be
perfect
up.
distraction
Yeah,
moment.
that had to have been the moment, because I did try to look to see if we just see a little movement
Little
of Lady
bit.
Olenna, but we never do.
No.
And then, yay. In the books, Joffrey's death was far more horrific. He was actually, like, clawing at his own throat like ripping his throat open trying to breathe.
Oh my god.
It was pretty bad. And random trivia, this was the episode that was submitted that got Lena Headey her first Emmy nomination.
Oh, wow.
And I also made a note, like, the reason I think this is one of my favorite seasons, well, not my favorite season, but, like, this is where the show really starts to get exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Because this is the second half of a book, rather than, like, building all the way up to it. So, in the second episode, to have this huge climactic scene like this.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there is a very good picture of, I don't know where it is, but of Jack Gleason with, like, a big projection of his death face, and he's like...
Yeah, but Jack Gleason, I don't think he's really going to act anymore. He's, like, going off to school to get, like, a PhD or something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, he
Which
probably
is
made
poor
enough
early
money.
blood now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sometimes do that, and then they fill out and come back.
Well, he probably knows that he's always going to be compared to Joffrey, so, like, any other role he plays, he'll never be...
All right,
Anyway.
episode 3.
My first note was, Ding Dong the Wicked Bitch is dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
And then, like, shit starts to happen. Dantos takes Sansa.
Who's the wicked bitch? Oh, I guess just
Joffrey.
Okay.
Joffrey.
The
Yeah.
one that just died.
Yeah,
Well,
we
that's
just-
why I was confused, because I wouldn't have called him anyway.
He's a
Yeah.
little bitch. And it's Littlefinger who's doing all of
Yeah,
this.
when did we last see him?
I don't know.
I meant to go back. Was it the Chaos is a Ladder scene?
I think so, yeah, because he was leaving. It was right
He
when...
went to the Eyrie.
Yeah, it was right
Yeah.
when Sansa found out that she was marrying Tyrion.
Tyrion.
Because she was watching Littlefinger's ship leave.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because she didn't have that
Because he was
choice
supposed to go to the
anymore.
Eyrie to try and bring Lysa Arryn into the fold, as Tywin says.
We find out that Baelish made the necklace.
And then he kills Dantos. But again, why does she have to have the necklace? Why did it have to be on there? That made no sense. But and this is where Littlefinger, he starts to get very handsy with Sansa.
Yes.
He's like, I'm gonna caress your arms as I explain
God, which was
my
so
plot
creepy.
to you.
It was,
So the
ugh.
Chaos monologue was episode 6 of season 3. I don't think we've seen him since then.
That makes sense. Marjorie is talking about if she's still the queen.
Yep.
Oh, before
Yeah, that
we do
was
that,
a little
real
weird.
quick, this is for Adi. Adi, what Baelish is doing, that's gaslighting. Convincing her that everything was just for the good and and you don't have to worry about a thing. It's all just fine and dandy. Baelish is totally gaslighting Sansa at this moment. Moving on.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then this is when Alana points out that, like, this is when we first get the idea that she's going to get with Tommen.
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, like because the Lannisters still need the Tyrell alliance.
Yeah.
So it's like you were promised a wedding, but since it wasn't consummated, whatnot, and yeah, this is part of Olenna's master plan. Like now, Tommen will be much easier to control.
Yeah.
Well, and I wrote down that this was kind of the scene where people start playing the game again.
Yeah.
Like all the dominoes fell, and what
Reset.
happened, and now we got to set the board up again.
Right.
And go at it again.
In the next scene, we see, like, a rare moment of kindness and grandfatherliness from Tywin. Of
Trying
him,
to counsel
like,
Tommen.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
counseling,
Yeah.
but doing it in, like, he's not pushing him, he's asking him, and he seems genuinely trying to let Tommen get to the point.
Yeah.
But he's testing him immediately over
yeah.
the body of his dead
Yes.
brother.
Oh my god! And Cersei's just
Oh my
standing there,
God.
like, and it's like, but no, like this is important because guess what? When you are the son of a king, this is what you were
Yeah.
born for.
Yeah.
Well, except for later, they say he wasn't born for it. 'Cause he
Yeah.
was-
Well,
Yeah.
because
He
he
wasn't
was
like that,
further
yeah.
down the line. He
Yeah.
probably never expected, but like this is
But yes, I wrote down Cersei loses 2 sons. She basically loses Tommen because Tywin is just going to come in and like take that boy by the reins.
Oh,
Right.
God, yeah.
But which is what he needed though. Like
Well, true.
I-
But
He did need
Cersei
guidance.
doesn't give a
I
shit.
agree with
Yeah.
that, yeah.
because he is very, very young and he needs guidance and like I think because Tywin realized like Tywin never did this to Joffrey because Joffrey was just like off on his own wild tantrum. No, what are you doing? Go away. But he realizes now with Tommen, like, hey, let's actually counsel this kid, and we can make him a good ruler, as opposed to the boy king who liked to torture animals.
Yeah.
And whores.
And people, yeah.
And this is also when Jaime rapes Cersei at the base of the body of her son, their son.
Yeah.
Oh gosh! In the books, like this was actually the moment when Jaime returns to King's Landing, and the very first time he sees her is standing over Joffrey's body, and oh yeah, that scene it's like he's like he reached out her skirt and found that she was on her moon's blood, but he did not care. Yeah, it's George Martin. Good lord.
Yeah, we should go back if we ever get another book, and I'm going to reread the books then. But because my question is why does Jaime have to force himself on her at this point? What's the?
Because there's a fucking dead body right there.
She's been.
I'm not.
Oh,
saying,
why does he
make that choice? Because as I wrote down, Me Too, consent, and the responsibility in storytelling. Why did he have to? I mean, yes. If he was going to have sex with her, he was going to have to force himself on her. But why did this have to be a rape? Why did that have to be there?
I think it stems from like his confusion about what has changed between their relationship when there was so much passion and like just desire before he left, and like she hasn't explained. He doesn't understand. Obviously, if it's because of his hand, that's going to be so frustrating for him. And so it all just comes from this like,
honey, I can pleasure you with more things than just my hand.
Yeah, but.
Well, she's been putting him off ever since he got back.
And this is the first moment where we start to see that passion again, and then she pushes him away. And that's what sets him off. He's like, no, you are not going to push me away again and not explain it.
Yeah.
We're fucking. Arya and the Hound more.
Yeah, so Arya finds out exactly how the Freys did it. So she, like, Walder Frey is, like, clearly on the list.
Yeah. And we also, the Hound punches a guy and steals his silver.
Oh yeah, she has another of my favorite lines. You are the worst shit in the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Wait, is that when she says
it?
Yes,
You're the worst shit in the Seven Kingdoms.
I love that.
And
I also love it because they're having this fight as they walk away from these very conscious people.
Oh yeah.
So it's not even like they've waited to have. She's just like, they're not gonna stop. She's not gonna fix it. But she's just like, what the fuck did you just do?
Well, she probably would not have succeeded if she tried to like go and like take it back from him. Like,
yeah.
But this is a moment that will come back to haunt the Hound later.
Yes.
Sam and Gilly have a cute little moment.
How long does it take to pluck a goose? I mean,
Was she getting like? She was making zero progress, and then she took this like half-plucked goose. I'll take this to him. It's like, what? It's still got feathers all over it.
Yeah.
Well,
and there are two other geese.
The only thing I was thinking is that she wasn't doing the plucking for cooking.
She was getting down.
She was just getting the down.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, this is the most tedious project ever.
Oh, and also notice, Andrew, you were asking about this before. This is the first time. Sorry, I was like, he perked up. I was like, what did he say? This is the first time that Sam is referred to as Sam the Slayer.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and making fun of him.
But they don't
not
believe him.
Yeah. So anyway, Sam sends Gilly to Molestown to keep her away from the rapers of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
So now she's surrounded by whores. Now, okay, this was my question. It shows a woman cleaning something under the water.
Like, she's cleaning a sheepskin. Sheepskin condom, like an intestine or something.
Yeah.
Because condoms were disposable in that kind of world.
Disposable. Aren't they disposable now?
They weren't.
Yeah, they are.
They weren't.
In our world, they're disposable. In that world,
so you're saying they were not.
They were not. They were not. They were made out of sheep's intestines.
So people just reused sheep intestines on condoms. Well, good. Because otherwise it would be disgusting. All right, moving
otherwise,
on.
Wash it, it's fine.
Otherwise.
So I don't know why I have it written in between Plucking the Goose and Gilly Town, but they mentioned this, the first sort of
because Davos is reading. Yeah, Davos. No, Stannis and Davos find out that Joffrey's dead. They talk about getting an army and maybe getting the Golden Company from the East, but they don't have any money. And then Davos is doing a reading lesson, and he remembers about the Iron Bank.
Yeah. Which Stannis is so freaking offended. He's willing to use black magic to conquer the kingdoms, but how dare I hire someone? What?
Yeah, but I just wondered if, and maybe this may never be important other than just the knowledge of the world, is that we talked about Syrio being the first sort of Bravos, and how do you get that guy over here to teach one little
I think
girl?
it must just be like being a knight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if it's not a singular designation, but like an order.
Like
so
the second
more
son.
One.
Right, you didn't have like the first sword and then the second sword and then but now the first sword died, so now we need another.
No, I think that
they were just
all the best.
It's like a black belt.
Yeah. Like a black belt, exactly.
Okay.
But then going back to Gilly, I felt like she's almost as selfish as Shay. I mean, she's not a bitch, but when Sam is like taking her and she's just whining, it's like
the whole time,
you do know he's doing. At least he thinks he's doing what's best for you.
But also no, fuck that. It's totally different because Shay's the fucking worst. And wait, hang on, let me finish. Because what Tyrion is offering is money and wealth and safety.
Yeah.
What Sam has offered is a shitty piece of cloth on a floor in a brothel. And when all Gilly knows is I was in Castle Black.
Which Castle Black is not really a castle.
I know, but like she's in this like seemingly safe and somewhat less chaotic place near Sam, and then he wants to send her away to a fucking dirty brothel where her place is a rag on the floor. Like that's where I think it's very different. Of like hers is just confusion of this doesn't seem to be better for me, it seems to definitely be worse. Where Shay is like, no, you want to set me up in a house and with riches and diamonds and da-da-da-da-da. I don't like it. Nah.
Well, I never interpreted Gilly's reaction as whining.
Selfish,
Or selfish.
Either,
I mean, yes, it is confusion. That's a good... I mean, because he can't... He's trying to explain to her, he's all like, one of these men of the Night's Watch will probably rape you eventually. I'm trying to protect you from that.
Yeah.
But it all works out okay when... we'll get to there.
Yeah.
Oliver
just so
and
much
Oberyn.
fucking, yeah.
I love that
much
Oliver
fucking.
is confused by Oberyn's bisexuality.
Oh.
You like both?
Both?
How does that
equally?
work?
Well, and Oliver's lucky that he's not dead with that mouth. I'm hoping I have this much stamina when I'm your age. He says like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
Like, if I was Oberyn, I just would have been like, slut your throat. Shut up.
He's like, have you not already figured out that Oberyn likes to like stab people? He was in the brothel for 5 minutes before he stabbed a guy in the hand.
And then Tywin shows up, and do we feel that Tywin actually is accusing Oberyn, or is he just there to like?
I think
stoke the fire a little bit.
Tywin is trying to do what they've been trying to do for centuries: is to bring Dorne into the Westerosi fold. Like again, he always says, "Bring him into the fold." I think he knows that Oberyn is wanting revenge against the Mountain. He knows why he's there, but I think he's trying to make a sort of peace with him. He's like, here, you could be a judge in this trial, and then offering him a place on the small council.
Yeah.
So I think, he's trying to bring Dorne in, and he's trying to make peace with them.
Yeah, of course. I said when he denies having any knowledge of what was going to happen to Elia.
Categorically.
I said that is not a face of denial. Is what I wrote down.
Yeah.
It was like he said the words, but I didn't think it was bullshit.
And this is when I stopped taking notes for this episode. So.
And then I have meet Ollie. Fucking Ollie.
Hey!
He starts off so happy. He's like, "Hello, Dad. We're going to have dinner tonight.
Yeah,
Everything's going to be so great."
Innocent, but he's a terrible hider.
Yeah.
Go hide.
See, but also it's tricky. All right, yes, we know bad things happen to him, and he has something against the wildlings. The problem is like his first encounter with the wildlings was the worst kind of wildlings possible. The fucking Thens.
There was a moment today because both me and Andrew were watching episode 4 while we were at work, and like apropos of nothing, I tapped on his shoulder and I was like, Andrew, fuck Ollie. And like I just like that was it.
It's Audie. Sorry.
What does Audie say?
Oh, she says it's quiet. Yeah, I can try.
Oh, hey, K. Richard.
Oh,
Hello, K. Richard.
Hi, K. Richard. Yeah, I don't like Ollie.
Ollie can go fuck
mean,
himself.
And it was like knowing what happens in.
Ollie's mom was asking for it. I mean, all of Ollie's family can die because he's
yeah.
such a little shit.
Like, knowing what is coming is what kills it for me, I feel like. Because I remember seeing Ollie the first time and going, oh, he's such a happy, cute little kid, and I feel bad for him because of his...
He did watch his parents get murdered, and it is sad, but boy,
ruined
join the
character.
club. You are not the only one who has lost someone.
And it ruined the character. For me,
Anyway, no,
all
alright, we shouldn't hate talk Ollie until he actually does bad things later.
I guess.
Episode 4 is when he starts getting his shitty Ollie face.
Yeah, his...
Yeah.
You know.
Alright, anyway, move
Danny
on.
arrives at Marine.
Is this the pissing scene?
And her newest suitor is on the wall during this scene.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I mean, he will become her newest suitor.
We lost Mark.
No, I'm reading my notes. I'm trying to figure out.
I can't
what my
help
notes
because
are
I
saying.
stopped taking notes.
Well,
This
and
is
then
when
I
I was
also
on the way
wrote
to
down.
work.
She talks about how Jorah is the most this and the first that. Da, 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 da.
And my closest
She
friend.
was just waiting for Dario. She was like, nope,
Well,
next.
Yeah, but her whole scene with Jorah, and it's like, and then she drops him to the curb faster than a bad habit.
I know, right?
Well, because she finds out that he betrayed her.
But, you know, if he betrayed her too,
We're
we're
not at the betrayal
not
yet.
there.
We're not there yet.
At this moment,
We're
that is
jumping ahead.
completely accurate.
But I'm not jumping ahead because at this moment she's just like, oh, you're this, and everything. And
You're my
it's still been
closest,
years.
most trusted advisor, and my most loyal
Years.
friend. Drink to Lord Friend Zone.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, but here's an interesting bit of trivia. So that champion that comes out of Marine and is reciting dialogue, he is actually reciting dialogue from Monty Python, but translated into Valyrian.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
Dario does do a freaking great job of dealing with the guy. He's like kissing his little knife, and then it cuts to Danny, and she's all like, "Lady boner."
Yeah. Also, I am like the whole time I was watching that scene, I was like, why are they not standing further back from Dario when like a horse is coming full with a jousting? Like, what is it? But it was fine. It ended up being fine.
No, it was a badass thing, and
And
then
she makes her big speech.
Yep, and then they throw the barrels of the
Chains.
of all the
Broken
slave
chains.
the
The
slave
collars.
collars.
Yeah. All right, episode 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oathkeeper.
Oathkeeper.
Yes.
What's episode 5 called? Well, we're not
Rayburn
there yet.
learns common and loses his heart.
Aww.
Yeah. So like again, like it's another one of those moments where like it was very simple for her to take the city. All she had to do was give a big speech to the slaves, and the slaves.
And a bunch of knives.
Yeah.
That
As
helps.
the sewer approach, won't be the last we see that.
No.
And
And
then she
then
has all the 163 masters crucified.
Yep.
Well, and then here's my question, just in terms of how things are going to end: is Danny just too barbaric to really be a ruler? I mean, because because this is not the first time this is not the last time she is counseled for mercy. He's like, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, Mercy. What is this word you're saying?
It's well,
when she has
I-
all the men crucified, the 163.
No, I was making a joke. What is,
Oh.
I was like, mercy?
Oh.
What is mercy? She doesn't
I'm
understand.
sorry. I thought you were asking something
Yeah.
else.
Nope. Yeah. And then Jamie and Braun are doing their fighting, and Braun just takes his hand and smacks him.
that is.
But
bad.
that's what
really funny.
Jamie's gonna have to be less like official, and he's
Yes.
gonna have to get dirty with it, because
Because you're gonna
I'm
realize
a
if he
drink for
actually
Jamie
goes
getting dirty
into a
with
real
it.
fight, it's like this is
Get
what
dirty
someone
with
will
it.
try to
Well,
do to
this
you.
is an interesting kind of mirror to what John deals with later in episode 5 when he's fighting what's his face, and they talk about you learned how to fight
yeah,
in a castle, and I fight dirty.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then Jamie finally visits Tyrion, and they have a nice brother moment.
They do.
I like their relationship,
Yeah.
but
Well,
he's
'cause-
like, I can't release you though, because
Also, Jaime's face when he finds out that Tyrion named him his champion in the Eyrie.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, well, I think this is where Jaime's learning how his Lannister loyalties will fit with his newfound sense of honor.
And I always love the face that Jaime makes whenever, cause I think Tyrion and Bronn are the only ones that do it. When they talk about Joffrey, they're like, "You mean your son?"
Yeah.
And he goes, like he has that face, like he doesn't deny it, but he's just like, careful. Like, you know, I always love those moments. And then we have Littlefinger taking Sansa to the Eyrie. He admits his part in Joffrey's death. This is where Sansa, I think, finally starts. What?
I'm sorry, we missed a bit of foreshadowing.
Again, see, every time we try and move ahead and make it
Well,
quick,
because
he
I'm
makes us
looking
go
at my
back.
Oh my
notes,
God!
And you moved
Stop!
on too
Stop!
fast.
Stop! What did we miss, Andrew?
Well, Tyrion says Sansa's not a killer.
Yet.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Anyway, and Sansa and Littlefinger.
So Sansa is now learning. I think this is where she starts learning to play the game. She finally starts listening to Littlefinger and kind of be like, "Oh, so this is how you play the game." Mm-hmm. And again, he's being so freaking handsy with her.
Yeah.
Which it gets creepier and creepier at points.
Right.
It's just like what? Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's at one point I was shipping it, I think.
Were you really?
Yeah, later. It's later, I think.
Is it later?
It's when she does the, like, she covers for him. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she
I
gives
can
that little
understand
face, and
that.
it's like, ooh, she's into it.
Yeah.
Well, and I love how when we lead into this scene, the first person we see is Baelish right after Tyrion. She's not a killer yet.
Yeah.
So then we have
has this-
Olenna making a very smart move to get the fuck out of King's Landing.
Yeah.
She's like,
and so she's getting out. She's like, trials are a bother. And then she starts talking about what a dirty bird Olenna is. Like, she went and fucked her sisters and like,
I was good. I was very good.
She, you know.
Yeah, I mean, see, but it's smart of her to leave. Like, they have a suspect in custody. She's all like, okay, the wedding's done. I'm going to leave. Bye. Like,
see you later.
you don't, yeah. And then she gives Marjorie the advice to, like,
get her claws into Tommen before Cersei does.
Get to know Tommen.
She also basically confesses to Joffrey's murder.
Yeah.
Both she and Baelish confessed very indirectly, but very clearly.
Then there's a Jon and Alistair moment. Fucking
Jon and Alistair going at it. But then, also, I didn't really notice this before, but it was Janos. Did I say that right? Sure. Janos was persuading Alistair to support Jon going to Craster's Keep to fight the mutineers,
so that he could die,
in hopes that he would get killed. So I just know that. And then Cersei wants Jaime to find and kill Sansa. Instead, he says, "Hey, Brienne, go find Sansa and protect her. And here, take this sword."
And this armor. And this Podrick.
Oh my god. The moment he's like, "I have something else for you too." And it cuts to Podrick just sitting there smiling.
Like grinning, just grinning. So we get two sad, so far in these episodes, we've had two sad goodbyes. With Podrick and Tyrion. And then with Brienne and Jaime. That one got me. That one got me.
I know.
That's the moment that will be reflected later at River Run.
Yeah.
Takes them both away from King's Landing.
Which is probably good for them.
And I think at this moment is when I slowly started to like Jaime just a little bit.
Yes.
Because you're like,
I mean, he did so many good things.
Right?
He just did a whole lump sum of good things. In
right.
one
Like, yeah,
fell swoop.
that...
I think that is starting, because I know we're on this whole Jaime redemption. I think that is another stepping stone in his... Hey, I don't want this person to die. I think that she should be alive. Save her from my crazy bitch sister.
Yes. The fact that he chose to disobey Cersei and do the exact opposite really shows that he is trying to do that.
And isn't this the first time that he's disobeyed?
Well, it wasn't actually disobeying. Cersei basically said, "If I asked you to do this, would you?" Yeah.
She was testing him. She said, "If I told you to do this, would you?" And he didn't say yes.
Yeah.
But he didn't say no.
He didn't say no.
But we also skirted over Marjorie's visit
to Tommen. Yes.
Oh, is that there?
Yeah, she goes in.
That's where we first hear about Sir Pounce.
Oh,
So
I did write
pounds.
that in here. Yes. Oh, this just shows how good Marjorie is at the game.
Because she's totally, we see her totally change her tact.
Yes.
Like before it was like, let me rub your...
Let me finger your crossbow.
Yeah, let me rub your crossbow, and would you like to see me murder someone? Now it's like, don't you think we should get to know each other before we marry? What a lovely kitty. Oh, he's so cute. It's a kitty. Like,
she's going to be there every night until he gets his first boner.
Yeah.
Well, see, and what I thought was funny about that was in the scene right before, Cersei's like, I went 4 Kingsguard at his door every night, and then cuts to, how did you get past the Kingsguard? She's all like, oh, honey.
Well,
like, have you seen these?
Her response is just Kingsguard.
Kingsguard.
But yeah, and even that moment of like, she doesn't push it too far because she gets very close to him. This will be our secret, and she could go for a mouth kiss, but she does a forehead kiss.
No, because she wants him to want her to come back.
Yes.
In hopes of getting more.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he wants yet.
He has no idea.
He's just a kid.
Yeah. Then we get John getting his followers, and that I think that freaks Alistair out a little bit because
he's like people actually volunteer to go,
and it's not just like, I think the strength is that it's not just like the people that we know are buddies with John. It's a couple other dudes that stand up too, and it's like uh-oh, those are some big men. Those aren't just like his little friends who he protected. Those are like big strong men.
Yeah, I think Alistair was hoping he would have just had to go by himself.
Yeah.
Well, and we're also reminded leading up to that scene, because I don't know if I necessarily clocked it the first time, John does know about Bran and Rickon not being dead.
How?
Because
Sam
tells him.
Sam told him.
Right.
They have a conversation about, why couldn't you, I wish I could convince Bran, so I assume Rickon goes with that conversation, but they were really focusing on, because he ran into Bran.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in the book, doesn't he keep that a secret? I don't know.
Sam?
I don't know.
Anyway.
I think so. Yeah.
But in the show, it's because I'm trying to clock, when people knew that information.
Yeah.
Because it came earlier than I expected. From Ramsay. I just felt like it was later, but it wasn't. So.
Carl is so fucking the worst. Like, and I know that wasn't a sentence, but that's fine.
No, you got your point across.
Because, like, he's drinking from Mormont's skull, and then he says, what are you saying, Mormont? Fuck them till they're dead? Okay.
They're just sitting around drinking wine out of skulls and raping all of Craster's daughters.
He said fucking Lord of the Flies at Craster's.
Yeah.
It is
ridiculous.
Now, some people, like, a lot of the book readers were complaining, like, why are we wasting all this time on these scenes and something that we never happened in the books, going back to Craster's Keep. And I remember thinking it, like, right away, was that the reason they're wasting so much I wouldn't say wasting, but they're spending so much screen time at Craster's Keep is because they are stalling so that the climax of the season will be the battle on the wall.
Yeah. I guess just now we're in season 8 and we get 6 episodes. We're like, why'd we waste all that time?
Right.
Give us more other stuff.
But I think also part of the problem too is like this might have been the first episode where we get new information that no one read about. So it may be that maybe later George R. R. Martin thought he would talk about this.
Yeah.
Because we talk about, the one last baby, and that one last baby gets left out. And then that one last baby we see get turned into a White Walker.
Well, see, it was because that all those things happening north of the wall there, none of the point of view characters in the books were there. So yeah, we have Craster's last boy is born. Are you paying attention to the comments?
No, not.
Hang on, what's K. Richards?
Okay, so he says.
Come and gone.
Oh yeah, but he said a lot of stuff.
Do we want to talk about that, or do we have fun? Let's finish this episode and then you. So yeah, Craster's last baby or his last boy is born, and as terrified as Gilly was about her boy being offered, that like at this moment, all of this daughter wives were all like, what is it they were chanting? Like
for the gods,
get to the gods, get to the gods. Like they were very clear. They're like, hey, here's the boy. You need to offer him to the gods. Like they were. I
wonder if they think that they got into this fucking mess because they didn't give the last one to the gods.
Ooh, that's interesting.
You
I
know,
never thought
so
of it that
like
way.
there was a baby boy and it didn't get donated.
Or
That's not the
not
word.
granted.
Sacrificed.
The walker
Offer.
followed the baby.
Yeah.
So I wonder if just like in the past, like they were like, we're gonna keep this one, and then he showed up and was like, get out of my way, bitch.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
I've been recently watching some YouTube videos about fan theories on the Night King, and I could probably do a whole separate video right now of theories about this.
But you're not going to.
But I'm not going to. So what we do see is Craster's last son is taken to the land of always winter. And this is the very first time that we see that land far, far, far north. And this was something that we never saw in the book. So this was a surprise for everyone. And we are introduced to...
Wait, before you do that, just to acknowledge that Bran et al. Got captured.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Carl knows who they are. We skipped over that. Just
Yeah.
that's all. And then continue.
Okay. I thought that was the next episode. Whatever.
Nope.
So yeah, this was the very first time they introduced the character that will become known as the Night King. Not Night's King. The Night's King is someone completely different. But still, we don't know anything about that. But we realize now what they've been doing with Craster's sons.
It's
That-
turning them into
Yeah.
White Walkers.
Poking him in the eye and then turning him
Poking
into
him. He didn't. He just like
Yeah,
booped him.
it was like boop boop.
Just
But
look at
oh
that.
no, with that
He just-
big long
he-
sharp nail.
Look at that little cheek. Look at the cheek is what the Night King
Yeah.
does. I think, you know what it is? He doesn't mean to. He just loves babies. They're so
Oh,
cute.
look at-
I
shit,
shit,
I
I
got
did it
another
again. It'd be like,
Oh.
if I were King Midas, there'd be so many fucking gold puppies that I did not intend.
But yeah, that theory goes into something referencing the prince that was promised, but I won't go into that.
Not yet.
And,
All right, episode 5.
right before we move on to that,
Great.
I do feel like we skipped over, or real quick.
I'm gonna drink every time we skip over stuff
Thank
that
you.
Andrew wants to talk about.
Okay,
But
we have to
I-
drink every time we skip over, or we're not there yet. Those are our new drinking rules.
Brienne names the sword,
Oathkeeper.
and I feel like she
Yeah.
also renames Jamie
Mm-hmm.
when she does that. He's no longer the
Oh,
Kingslayer.
Andrew.
He's the
Oathkeeper.
Oh.
All right, episode 5. What was episode 5 called?
First of his name, Tommen of the House Baratheon, Lannister, is crowned King of Westeros, Protector of the Realm, and etc. Insert the titles.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign.
Anyway, so that happens. And then Dany...
You don't want to get one in there, Andrew?
Nope.
Okay.
So now,
Long may he reign.
Daenerys receives word that Joffrey is killed and debates if this is the perfect time to go.
Hang
and
on.
talk.
We had that, like, because this is when Cersei and Marjorie talk about marrying Tommen, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
had like a weird, surreal,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
moment where Cersei was
Yeah.
almost being
I didn't take notes for this, so I
gracious.
didn't.
Right?
And-
it was weird.
And then Marjorie was like, I don't know what to call you, sister, mother. God damn it, Marjorie,
Marjorie,
you were
she
so
was
close.
right there.
Right?
I mean, you could see literally Cersei swallow
Just
her
drops,
pride.
yeah.
Because when we were watching that, I always felt like that was a scene a little out of character for Cersei.
Well, because this is when, I mean, I know she's done it before, but, like, I don't think she's done it to outside people admitting what a monster Joffrey was. And how, like, she says you never love anything more than your first child, but the shit he did shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not easily shocked. You know, so
Yeah.
it was just this, like,
But there was a moment,
almost
in
a
that scene where
confession.
she literally just kind of looks up and swallows,
Yeah.
and then like goes into this thing to offer an olive branch to Marjorie, and then Marjorie just like swats it away.
Well, she's probably still upset about the whole. Last time we spoke, you said, "If you ever call me sister again, I'll have you strangled in your
Yeah.
sleep."
Yeah.
And then
That
she's
was
like,
only a fortnight ago.
"Yeah."
and now she said sister or mother.
Or mother. She's so great.
All right, Dany.
Yeah, so Daenerys and them receive word that Joffrey is dead, and they're debating, like, is this the opportune moment to go and sack King's Landing? When they have no idea that they're coming. Like, it would be a complete surprise attack. But then, at the same time, she receives word that...
She's lost Astapor. She's lost Yunkai.
Yeah, that all the masters have retaken the slaves that or the cities that she liberated.
Mm-hmm.
So she does a very frustrating for us readers.
Why? I don't get why it's frustrating.
No, because the entire story we're just waiting for Dany to go get back to Westeros.
Oh, and she's like,
so,
"No, I'm gonna
I
kick
think
it."
this was, if I remember correctly, this was actually like her last chapter in book 3, maybe. It was the last chapter where she says she's conquered the 3 cities and set all the slaves free, and she says, "I'm not going to go to Westeros. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to rule.
I'm gonna do what queens do."
I feel like
rule.
the Slaver's Bay is her training wheels.
I mean, and that's what it is. In the long run, it does pay out in the end for her in the long run because she doesn't have enough ships. She does. I mean, she has a small army.
She could take her army now, but she could also get more, like all the slaves, and then spoilers.
And she also needs to wait for her. She also has not trained her dragons.
Kalasar, and her dragons aren't big enough.
The dragons aren't big enough yet to conquer. She's not ready, and I think she knows that. So.
Next we have Sansa and Littlefinger approaching the Eyrie.
Oh, and they get crazy bitch.
Lysa's so fucking nuts.
Lysa is so fucking crazy.
She jumps on Baelish as soon as she's done.
Yeah.
And she's like, "We're getting married now. Look who I have." Ha ha. And then telling the Septon, "I'm gonna scream when my husband fucks me." It's like,
oh my god.
TMI, lady.
Remember the story we told last night about the squeaky thing?
Yes.
That's exactly how I felt.
Except worse, because she was screaming.
And then, I mean, how big is that castle? I mean, how close was Sansa to that room?
Well, it seems like there's a lot of open windows and such,
Yeah.
so that place probably echoes.
It's all stone.
In the mountains.
The point is, she couldn't have been that close. She was still kept up all night.
But we also find out that Baelish and Lysa started everything because Lysa put the poison.
The entire War of Five Kings started because Lysa
put the poison
Littlefinger
in Jon's wine.
told Lysa to murder her husband
and to blame the Lannisters
and to send that letter that she sent to Catelyn started everything. The events of the entire series was Littlefinger.
That's crazy.
Tywin
and Cersei have a chat.
Yeah, we realized that
State of the Union.
That the gold mines of Casterly Rock have run dry.
3 seasons ago.
Yeah. And he's basically giving her this information to say, I again, I like when we get some human moments from Tywin. He says, I know that we don't like them, but the reason that you have to marry them is because
we need alliances.
We need their money.
Yeah.
And because we are in debt a tremendous amount to the Iron Bank. And that's,
they've been dropping hints about the Iron Bank that we will meet later.
My crops will show up soon.
Yeah, you will have to pay your taxes.
Yeah. Arya on her list.
Yes. I thought for a second maybe the Hound would be off it, but nope.
Nope, he's the last name.
Not at all.
She's like, no, he still murdered Micah, the butcher's boy.
Yeah. And then
Podrick
Lysa.
and
No, hang on. No, the
sorry.
next is the fucking crazy ass scene with Lysa and Sansa.
I feel like I wrote down the Veil is like a horror film.
Yeah.
Sansa's the heroine.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, here I brought you sweet cakes. They have a sweet moment where they're talking about Catelyn at childhood. Da 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 da. And then she's like, you fucked Peter, didn't you?
Peter brought you lemons. You clearly fucked him.
You're pregnant with this child. What did he do to your pretty body? Oh God! And then when she's like, I'm a virgin. It's okay,
we need to have an examination of Sansa.
It's okay, darling. It's fine. Yeah. I'll pretend. That is.
Oh, she.
Let me tuck your head to my milk-filled
wrist. That shit is gaslighting. That is crazy ass. Just.
Oh.
Anyway. And now Brienne and
Podrick and Brienne.
Again, these cute little
the start
scenes
of a
that are
beautiful
not
friendship.
necessary,
It
but
really
just
is, right?
It lightens the mood and it makes
his fucking horse.
I
was giggling during this
I love
scene.
when she just blatantly is so you're useless.
Yeah.
You have you're not good at anything.
Yeah, the only thing he ever did for Tyrion was pour wine. And then she asked about have you ever done anything in battle? He's like, I did kill a Kingsguard.
Yeah.
And you're like,
But that's when she finds out like the dedication that Podrick has because she's like
that Podrick has many
loyalty,
natural talents.
well, no, not even like the many natural
Not
talents,
his very
but like
natural ones.
his dedication to the person he's serving because he killed someone who's on his side because they were threatening his employer.
Right.
And so that's when she's like, all right, I can't get this.
She's
knot.
like,
But
fine,
she also
help me with
asked
this
him
arm.
how he did it, and he goes, I shot a spear through the back. She was like, okay, so at least you knew how to use a spear.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
He
give
knows
you a
how
spear.
to use a spear. All right, anyway.
Drink, Kate.
Yeah.
That was a drink moment.
That's where I stopped taking notes.
Yeah, we also learned just before then that Arya learned you can't always stick him with a pointy end.
No, because
No, you
the
can't.
armor.
Not if they have thick armor. Her little toothpick is not going to fit.
And I was trying to go back through my notes, but I couldn't do it so quickly. We have another. This is the first time in a while I've heard a timestamp that it's been a year since Marcilla went to Dorne.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And that was...
Yeah, Cersei
was
and
that in
Oberyn
season
have-
2 when she left?
Yeah, I couldn't
Yes?
get back fast enough to really. I'm sure
Probably.
I took a note of when she did it.
Oh, yeah, because that was before
Yeah,
the
let me see.
Blackwater.
Yeah.
So.
And then Jojen sees the end in flames. You asked to.
Oh, yeah, like, I don't know how to interpret that. He's like, they're talking about, how do we know when it's the end? And he's all like, well,
His
my
hand's
hand
on
is on fire.
So, and then of course the previews for this season had, the blow of ice and the blow of fire, so. And then Locke recognizes Bran, and then Locke gets his, and Ghost gets his.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, and then Bran makes Hodor murder someone.
Oh my god, that is even more frustrating knowing now
Oh,
that
yeah.
Hodor is Hodor because of Bran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And afterwards, like when they both come back and Bran is like, cut me free, go get them. Hodor is looking at his blood-covered hands.
Just
Hands, yeah, like, what did I...
He
Like,
literally
what happened?
went into
Because he
him and
understands
forced him to
everything.
commit
Yeah.
murder. Oh, he just can't speak. Oh my god, that was
that was rough.
sorry.
It was rough.
We
It's
love
even more rough
Hodor.
now knowing about the whole door episode. Speaking of the door,
Hi, Addie.
Right?
We just finished, basically.
Your slavery calls.
oh my slavery calls, yay! That's props things that I need to.
John reunites with Ghost. That was cute.
Oh,
Except, all right, if only he wasn't like a CGI wolf, he might have.
Stop! Don't open this right now.
Sorry, he might have could have
Yeah,
like actually
season 2,
hugged
last
him.
time I
Don't.
saw him was,
I'm not gonna sit on your computer. I saw it.
Yeah.
Well, now here my
Yeah.
big question at the end of this episode. Not important. It would never come up. But where do the mothers of the White Walkers go?
Oh, Olive Craster's
Oh, yeah.
women.
Because they're all like, burn it down. And we're
Burn
not
it down,
going
we'll
to
figure it
we're
out.
not hanging out for mans. It's like they just,
They probably
Maybe to Hard Home.
I don't know. I
they
mean,
probably went and crawled in some cave and then eventually all died out.
Yeah, I'm not too
I mean,
worried.
I mean, I don't think we're ever going to see them again, so...
No.
but, you know, I
Good
mean,
question, Andrew.
Good question.
No one fucking knows.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back later as White Walkers.
Right? What did K. Rich say?
He said a lot of shit.
And then he left.
Yeah, and then he left. He was just making random comments.
Oh, okay.
Mostly about the city politics and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
He said he
Totally
thinks
was
the
not reading
next
those while
5
driving.
episodes the best consecutive hours in episodic TV. So that's exciting.
Oh, wow.
But I think we're done. I think we did it in less than an hour and a half, so that's
Yay!
okay.
We can do it.
Real quick, I just came in right at the end because we keep forgetting to do stuff like this. If you guys are watching this now or later, please click that notifications bell so that you can know when we're actually going live, because sometimes we're at the right time and sometimes we're not. So
I struggled today. It was
We
only
had
like
a
4 minutes
technical
late.
difficulty, but we were ready. At
Everything
6:30
changed.
today.
We were ready.
So, please click the notifications bell. Please subscribe. Please tell your friends about us. We have a lot of really exciting stuff that all of us are working very hard on over the next few months. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I'm trying to get the hashtag KOTDW for the throne going. Right now, it's just me. So, yeah. So So please do all the fun social media stuff. We're about to start having a whole lot of content on Twitter. I've got some ideas.
Nice.
What she said.
And then follow us on Instagram if you'd like to see updated photos of us building the Iron Throne. That will be happening over the next few months. We will be posting photos of our progress on Instagram and Twitter. So, yeah, okay. I had my social media stuff to do.
You did a great job.
Just got in there right at the
Good
end.
job. That's the only thing we use her for. You can go now.
Have a good day. Bye. All right, Andrew.
All right, so we are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And now our talk has ended.
For now.
God, I hate
Bye,
that.
you guys.
What?
See you next week.
What do you hate?